Today's conversation is going to be about your voice, the resonance of the voice, the amplitude, and the way the voice and the sound waves resonates with our DNA, the very essence of who we are. Have you noticed that when certain music plays, individuals and animals all start bobbing and weaving? It's because the tone and the notes of the music resonates with the DNA of that particular being. We are all made of energy, and sound waves resonate with our energies differently. And the importance of understanding that is knowing that the sound and the tone with which we communicate, the way we do things, and the way we show up with our voice and our sound truly grounds us, absorbs energy, and gives positive energy to the world. And how do we do that right? How do we own our energy? And then how do we get in our place of peace to truly resonate with the essence of who we are? That is so little talked about, and yet so important to understand. To have this amazing conversation and truly an introspective conversation with me is Aideen. Aideen, thank you so much for coming and joining us this morning.
You're so welcome, Dr. Cass. It's great to be here.
As we get started, share with us how you got started in this journey, because it is not something you go to school thinking you're going to major in, you're going to go into a profession in. So this is something you found for yourself. How did you get there, and what journey brought you here?
Well, that's probably a long story, but I will, I guess the main thing to know about me is that I always had an interest in people and how people think. I studied languages in my teens. I traveled a lot in my teens, and I studied psychology in university. And then I felt very lost because I didn't have a clear path to a career based on the degree that I had, because I combined psychology with the language. And so it just meant it would have been a longer journey for me to go into psychology as a professional. So I took a different route, and deep down, I was always wondering, did I have permission to do what I really wanted to do with my life? And the things that I really wanted to do were percolating within me. No one else could see them. And I wanted to see what I could do with that, but I didn't have any confidence. So over time, I began to study how to find the confidence, how to work with my own thought process to be able to believe in myself. And from there, I eventually made like a prayer. I said, I want to do more with music. Now, this is in my 40s that I eventually asked this question. Okay, so it took me a 20-year journey to ask for that guidance instead of trying to figure it out for myself. And I asked for just that I would do more with music in the following year, even if I earned money from other things. And 3 weeks after I asked that question, I heard a voice in my head saying, do a singing workshop for adults. And I knew it wasn't my own mind, because it literally was not what I wanted to do. I was not that keen on this idea, but I had asked the question. So it came in, I had to take note, and I started step by step testing the idea. And I started teaching singing, bringing psychology into my coaching from the very beginning, and really nurturing people to believe in their voice, in to help them to really feel that even if their voice wasn't perfect, that it had value, and that the message that their heart had within them has so much value. And I worked mainly with adults, and most of the time I've worked mainly with adults, and I love helping them to connect with the resonance of their own voice and accept it fully, and love that they are who they are, not try to be something different. And that journey has been taking me deeper and deeper, actually, until now, when I work more with people around the voice in its broader sense and self-love in a very broad sense. And it's been a beautiful journey.
That is so amazing. The fact that you were able to take a second chapter in life and truly make it meaningful for you. And then you're giving meaning to others. As you take this journey in helping others, what are you finding as ways people are leveraging this experience? Are they healing? Are they growing? Are they finding themselves in different ways? What are some of the nuances that you are noticing? And how is that helping you guide them?
Mm. It's so interesting. I love that you asked that question, how is it helping me guide them? Because it's so true that the student teaches the teacher. And um, the clients that I've had, the students that I've had, pardon me, have taught me so much. Initially, I think it's about creating a safe space. If I'm not criticizing their voice, then they don't criticize themselves as quickly. But in a lot of situations, as adults, when we start learning something brand new, we are coming at it from a logical part of our brain instead of the playful part of our brain. And we can be very frustrated that we don't make progress as quickly as we think we should. So, one of the things that I started with was making everything quite playful, even silly, even childlike and fun, and helping people to just relax and to see the process as having value instead of just, I want to be able to sing a song. And if I singing the song is of value. No, actually, the warm up is of value. Hanging out with other people who enjoy singing is of value. Going to a class is part of the enjoyment of learning that. So asking people to relax into that was sometimes hard for them because we tend to be a little bit too hard on ourselves as adults learning new things. And I think it's so important. From time to time, I would have a parent bring a child to the class, and I would have people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, up to their 70s in the same class. And to me, that was really so beautiful because sometimes we don't think of someone older than us as a beginner. But if we have that beginner's mindset in our lives at any age, there's so much room for growth and evolution. So I think that was one of the first things that I really realized that about, how to work with people.
I can see the joy in you as you are talking. And that is a beautiful thing because when you demonstrate such joy and peace as you're doing this and talking about what you're doing, it's drawing others and the energy is palpable. And there is so much research to talk about. Three of the DNA protein sequences are the music notes ACG. And when those notes are played in certain sequence, it just travels through our body, right? And I come from the Hindu Ayurvedic lifestyle culture where every morning we ring a bell in the house, it's right above our head. And every person goes and rings the bell, and that sound waves travels through us. And that's the start of a meditative state. We ring the bell, we get the flowers, ring the bell, get in that place of peace, and then meditate, which is also prayer. And it's only after that we start our day. And you too have figured out a way to connect this music and sound with mantras of prayer and meditation and getting in that place of peace. How are you utilizing it for yourself and also helping others?
Yes, it's really the mantra practice that I began is the foundation for my own confidence. And the reason my business has continued with its ups and downs and with its uniqueness and its nobody's path was I able to follow is because I was meditating so much at that time and quite long disciplines and many things that were and the right mentor, like the right teacher, and I would ask my meditation teacher, do I need to deserve good things to happen? And she said, it's so much simpler. She said, you simply reap what you sow. And that philosophy of, continually doing things toward what it is you would like or what you hope for, that has served me so well. And instead of looking ahead at this big goal that I might have, I now operate on a moment to moment basis, much more at peace with the circumstances around me and allowing for, you know, things to happen that I couldn't think about. So our own minds are our greatest uh, friend, but can be our greatest enemy when we're too stubborn. And I had a very strong stubborn streak. What mantras have done is they have softened my personality and they have introduced me to new friends. And I see each mantra as a new friend because the mantra asks an energy for support. And those energies within the traditions of the Sanskrit, yoga traditions, they are personified also perhaps as Ganesha. So I can say, Ganesha, come into this room, guide me, help me remove obstacles. And it's like having a good friend that helps you along. So I I think the fact that I'm using my voice to utter the sounds was a huge connector for me because voice is was my area of struggle. How do I let my voice out? Does anyone want to hear what I have to say? Does anyone care if I sing? Which in many cases nobody cared, right? But I cared. I felt that. And I wanted to create space for other people who wanted to sing to have a space to do that. And the mantras themselves being audible, I could hear them. I could feel that vibration around my body. And it was like that vibration was pushing the external world away from me and giving me space here in myself, to be at peace. And it's so engaging rather than just closing your eyes and trying to just breathe for 20 minutes. You can hear it, you can feel it. So it's been such a valuable resource for me. And those divine friends have been with me and I feel their presence and I don't feel alone anymore. And I feel like they guide me with my clients. So I believe that we all have energetic supporters. It doesn't have to be somebody, Ganesha. It could be, your own guardian angel or whatever way you think about it. But I believe that we have access to a lot more support, unseen, invisible support than we realize. And sometimes all you need to do is ask that one question. How do I dot dot dot? And my prayer was answered. And it's taken me on a beautiful journey.
I am moved by how you have truly embraced this because it's not germane to the culture you were raised, but you found what works for you in your own quest for your introspective journey and your inner peace. So I am delighted to hear you are in a place where you're there and now you are ready to take your full cup and pass it on to the others. How are people receiving this? Because not everybody is in a place to think beyond the box they were put in and the social construct that looks at this material world through this physical body. And not many people understand that this body is temporary, inside is my soul, and that is energy, and that is infinite. And when that energy can connect to its surroundings, then its potential becoming. How are you navigating
Yeah.
the quandary of how the world receives your message or the way you can assist them?
Yeah, it comes down to that resonance. When we are more in tune with ourselves and more in tune with the circumstances around us and the people around us, we find harmony. And the main reason that people will come to this is because they are experiencing disharmony, frustration, confusion, stress. So when we are kind of, oh, what's going on? Why is everything so crazy? That's the moment that most people will consider something completely different. And in fact, my mantra practice has brought me more respect and understanding of my original spiritual journey, which was within the Catholic religion. My mother prays with the rosary every day, which is muttering, which is a meditative process. And I respect that even more. But because I needed better mentors within my spiritual journey. So for me, I didn't really relate to the priest, and I didn't have people around me that I fully wanted to, that I fully related to. But my teacher that I had in Ireland and her teacher in India, I felt very safe with them. So I think sometimes our next step is simply to find one or two other people that we connect with and follow your curiosity toward what it is you might be interested in, whether that's mindfulness or Buddhism or whatever that might be. I believe, as Jesus said, there are many rooms in my Father's house. And this is Easter weekend for us, actually, at the time of recording. So I really feel like it's good to mention that. And we are all unique, and we don't need to be the same as anyone else. In fact, we shouldn't be trying to fit in. We shouldn't be trying to fit in. We should be trying to be our unique selves. So for me, people come to me when they're in a little bit of a tricky situation, or they come to me for singing, or they come to me for something general. And because they trust me, because the relationship is there, then when I say, would you like to try some mantra or just listen to me mantra with you? They're open to that. So it's almost more to do with the relationship. Like I feel that each mantra is creating a relationship, a new friend. And I just want to meet clients who need a friend and that maybe need someone they can lean on, because I can be someone that they can lean on because I have the spiritual supporters that I lean on. And therefore, it's sustainable in that way.
Brilliantly said. And as you are talking, what is coming up for me is the fact that every culture talks about how the energy we put into the world comes back to us. In my tradition, we call it karma. Rumi, one of my favorite poets and philosophers, talks about what you seek is seeking you, right? So we have to be truly conscious of what we are putting out there, because that is what is drawing us. Even in the name of religion or faith, Joseph Campbell talks about what ultimately consumes us is our faith, right? So how are we being consumed? Not just the physical consumption, but the mind and the spirit and the soul consumption. And that's the energy that's driving us. So if you were to give a piece of advice for people this holy weekend, because lots of different faiths are practicing their holy weekend. Muslims are fasting, there's Passover, there's Easter. Every faith is practicing something. And there is a reason why everything is interconnected. What message would you have for people to find that place of peace instead of just going through rituals?
Well, I hope you'd be open to this idea. What I would love to do right now is to do some sounds with you. Um, so if everyone is on mute and it's just my voice that you can hear, I'll change my settings here on Zoom so you can hear the a little better. And if you are willing and you have a voice, think of the in three parts: and ah, oo, and they have significance. The ah is an opening, the is the maintaining, and the is the closing. And if you could do this with me for just a few minutes, if we have time. And what I want to come back to, Dr. Cass, is you said when your cup is overflowing, then it overflows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to guide us. We're going to say for our feet, and we're going to fill almost as if your body is a glass and you're pouring the like water into your body. So this is I want you to feel this. Mantra is an experience. I could tell you something from my brain, but how about we try this for a few minutes? So just closing your eyes, take a sigh. This is just it's light. It's a testing phase. Don't be critical of your voice right now. Whatever comes out is enough. It's enough. Let your facial muscles relax a little and feel the weight of your body in the chair and the connection of your feet on the ground. And we're just going to breathe in through our feet for a moment, as if the energy of Mother Earth is coming up through our feet into our lower legs and upper legs, torso, arms, neck and head. And release. Om. Join in with me. Om. Let the Om fill your feet. Om. Left foot and right foot. Om. Let it fill your lower legs. Om. Your upper legs. Om. Your hips, your glute muscles, your pelvic floor. Om. Om. Your belly. Om. Your lower back. Om. Your torso, your organs. Om. Your rib cage, your lungs, your heart. Om. Your shoulders, your arms. Om. Om. Your neck and head. Om. Om. The energy around your body. Om. And overflowing now into the room. Om. Up to the ceiling. Om. From your basement to your roof of your home. Om. The garden, the neighborhood. Om. Your town, county, province. Om. Your country. Om. The hemisphere you're in. Om. The globe, the earth. Om. The galaxy. Om. And beyond. Om. 3 more. Om. 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 Notice your breath for a moment here as you receive and release your breath. And notice any change in how you feel energy, tingling, warmth, light. And to come out of the practice, we'll bring our hands into prayer position with our palms touching each other in front of our hearts. And we'll say the word that means we honor each other. We see the light in each other. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you. You can rub your hands to create some heat and just tap your body to come back into the room. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Aideen. That was a beautiful way to remind people what they can do, something as a tip, something as a message. And just for folks who are not familiar with what Om means, just like the cross is the Christian symbol, the letter Om, it's actually two letters, O and M, is actually the image that the trunk of the elephant makes when it's cold. In my language, that is literally the alphabet in Tamil. And that's why Ganesha, the elephant-headed god, is thought about as a remover of obstacles, because the sound Om is the sound you hear when you're in a vast space. Go to the beach when there's no other noise and the waves crashing. That's the noise you hear. When you go into the wilderness and where there are no birds chirping, nothing, when everything is quiet, it's that sound, the infinite sound of the universe that surrounds us. It is not a religious symbol, because technically Hinduism is not a religion, but it is a sound from nature that grounds all creatures and all energy. And it's the sound from which all energy stems. So grounding with the Om allows us to truly connect at a soul deep level as to who we are. It's a beyond the body experience. And greeting each other this way is also honoring the experience of how everybody in front of you is more than just the body they reside in, right? And so it allows us to truly embrace each other without worrying about or trying to put them in boxes, fit them in places. It's truly a freeing experience. So I want to, with this meditative demonstration I've given, Aideen, open it up to our audience and see what questions they have and have some live engagement with our live audience.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Precious, I know you are in the mindfulness coaching and finding peace for women, especially women over 40. What's coming up for you?
Okay. All right. And thank you so much for what you shared with us today, Aideen. One of the things that you said that stood out, and I really appreciated, is the support that you have to lean on, and that we have so much more support than we may acknowledge sometimes. That just resonated, because what if we accessed it? What difference would that make for so many of us? And whatever realm you reference it, could be your guardian angel, could be, however people want to um, acknowledge it, and it allows you to do more. So when you said how you can be a friend of support, that's what so many of us need. And you can afford to do that, because it's like, well, how will you support others? What about you? You're just human too, because you have your own, and you reference that and rely on that. So I'm grateful for your journey and how you've been honest to it and followed it, and it frees you and allows you to be so much more, so that your overflow is able to extend to others. So there are so many similarities in the differences, and Dr. Cass, you've acknowledged some of that too, with this week, and how the different religions and how we are all impacted, interconnected, but we have a different verse or saying as to what, how we're acknowledging it. But I appreciated the interconnectedness, and I appreciate the messages of support. They mean something, and I'm grateful for your journey.
Thank you so much. Yeah, when I do mantras, I definitely do also Jesus, and I have a little notebook here right beside my desk that I write in there, dear guides, because it's nice in general. Aideen here. Sorry I didn't consult you more lately. I want to stay present while I work. Help me come back to my breath and check in with how I really feel in every moment. I love that so many aspects of my work are succeeding and are enjoyable. There are great adventures going on. Please help me take time to eat well and exercise and reflect while I play with the projects I'm involved in. Help me to tune in. Thank you, Aideen. And when I write something like that in the morning, that can be the setup for the rest of the day.
That is beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Aideen. Go ahead, Robin.
I'm loving this conversation. It is really, really lovely. And as each of you have pointed out, this really is a month of, Easter is right now. This is Easter weekend. Ramadan's this month. Passover and about another month, and not quite a month. So anyway, a lot of religious, spiritual things going on. And I was going to ask, when you find that people are able to tap into a spiritual side, thinking about their guardian angel or spiritual forces beyond what we can see with our mortal eyes, do you find that allows them to open their voice more and get in touch more with who they are and being able to find and use their voice more effectively?
Definitely, because it comes down to self-acceptance. And I believe that, when we connect with something greater than us, that we can actually feel that acceptance. Like does not say, oh, your voice is no good. And okay, I like you, right? So when we say it together, we just start to connect. The resonance and the vibration means that we all feel connected in the same way as a forest, the trees and the grass and the sky don't feel separated from each other. And I think it's so important to understand that we are part of nature. We are natural. The more that we accept that we are the same as a tree, we're designed in a certain way. The tree is designed to gently, slowly reach to the sky while reaching towards the earth. And if we can imagine that we are enough in each moment and that our tiny little struggle to dig deep, to receive nourishment or to find new ways to learn, and our struggle to maybe just reach and see the sun and have people see us again. And knowing that you are enough allows you to speak, because you're not judging yourself as in that moment it can be wrong, because you being you can never be wrong. By you speaking out whatever you say, even if it's anger, even if it's something unpleasant for the person listening, you will figure out, you will hear yourself. You might adjust it a moment later. But if we keep everything bottled in and we don't reveal it, then things can percolate under the surface that really aren't good for us. So I believe in being truthful and kind as well. I really pray for my voice to always have kindness in it, because sometimes when we're unhappy, that we lose that. And so then things can be difficult. But I believe it's better to say something, please don't hold back too much. Find someone you can talk to in situations. And I believe there's a lot of change, very quick change possible when we open up to others and when we say what we really think.
Thank you so
Beautiful.
much
Thank
for
you.
that deeply, deeply insightful question, Robin. You always ask them. And Aideen, appreciate you making the time, engaging with our audience, and truly giving our audience a start of a practice so that they can take that inward journey and find their own voice, find their energetic voice, and then bring it out to have a presence.
Mm.
And to our audience out there, take the message from Aideen and step into your own unique self. Look at your hand. No 5 fingers are the same. It is by design. But unless the 5 fingers work together, the hand is not functional. The universe was created with each person, each being, each thing with life to have a purpose. So what if, without judging, we embrace harmony and we collaborate and truly co-create? And in that spirit of co-creation is where our ability to live our life and be supported comes. So tap into that energy. Let your voice resonate for you. Let your voice resonate with other voices in the world. And let that collective energy co-create a better life for you, better life for us, and the best life possible, most of all for our children.